moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Welcome here to Westside High School. The 6-0 undefeated Westside Warriors are going up against the 3-3 Norfolk Panthers. It's homecoming night here for this District A6 football matchup. The Warriors trying to clinch up their A6 district title tonight here with the win. My name is Jaden Taylor. Alongside me tonight, as always, Jernstrom. It's a beautiful, cool night, beautiful October night for football.
You couldn't ask for better weather for an October football game. It's 81 degrees here at Phelps Field, clear skies, the wind only 6 miles per hour, so the wind won't be a factor tonight. It's just going to be a beautiful fall evening for a high school football game, and what better conditions for the homecoming court to come out at halftime. It's a great night to be a Warrior fan here at Phelps Field for this homecoming game.
Big matchup here for the Warriors. As mentioned earlier, this win here tonight, although a little bit odd situation, will clinch the A6 district title for the Warriors. But looking at last week, we saw a little bit of crumbling overall with the Warriors, able to get a win, but a really close game up against Millard North. Millard North at the time a 1-4 team and only had one win up against Omaha Bryan, which is rated the worst team in Class A. And the odd thing here, when we talked so much about Millard North's running game, they had 4 touchdown passes in this one.
Yeah, that was unusual for a Fred Petito team to throw the ball like that, but that's how Westside defended them. They wanted them to throw the ball because Millard North is one of the better rushing teams in Class A, and they made them throw the ball, and they had some success, and that has been the Achilles heel for this Westside team has been the secondary. They've given up a lot of long touchdown passes, and the Mustangs showed that weakness in the Westside defense last week.
Yeah, a big weakness for this team has been the secondary. So, I mean, looking at the secondary overall, I mean, they really struggled last week. I mean, going up against this team. I mean, the rushing yards were a big thing for this team. We talked about Westside. Dominic Rizek once again dominated. 311 yards between him and Teddy, and a little bit of Kurt Kubrich as well. Kurt also brought back an 87-yard kickoff return, which was huge momentum in the second quarter for the Warriors. They're able to bring themselves back and able to get a win up against the Millard North team. But this is really not a Millard North team that we've seen the last 5-6 years. They've really struggled. And does this say anything about Westside being as much a contender as they should be?
Well, and if you look at that graphic there, 311 rushing yards for Westside, that was what really was the difference in the game. You would assume that Millard North would have the better rushing yardage, but it was Westside with 311 yards. And Westside currently ranks 6th in the state in rushing and 6th in the state in passing offense. So it's a balanced attack for Westside, and that has proven to be a winner for them.
And a big thing as well, I mean, talking about the passing yards for Millard North, when's the last time you saw 4 touchdown passes in a game for Millard North, plus 155 total yards? And that was huge, and it was a big piece because the Westside secondary really struggled in last week's game up against Millard North. Oddly, of course, 155 yards passing for Millard North. They allowed 4 touchdowns, only able to get 1 interception. And last week, Charlie Quaintance was 11 for 19 passing. That's unheard of for a Millard North team.
Well, it's just the defensive strategy they played last week against Millard North. Stop the run, let them throw the ball, and that's what they enabled them to do, and that's why Millard North didn't have over 300 yards rushing, which normally they do every week.
Offensively for the Warriors, a big piece last week was Caleb Benning, the sophomore phenom, son of Damon Benning, who was a running back for Nebraska, and Benning has just been a big piece of this team, especially for how young he has been. Only had 2 receptions on the night, only had 2 targets, but both of them were touchdowns.
Yes, he was your player of the game, Jaden, last week, and he got the game ball afterwards. But Kalen Benning now ranks second in the state in tackles per game. He has 32 unassisted tackles and 8 assisted tackles, but he is one of the best defenders in the state of Nebraska, and he's showing it this season.
And a big thing with that as well, we never really thought we were going to see Caleb as much on the offensive end for how good he has been at the safety position. With a little bit of a mix-up, we saw Dominic Rizak a little bit back at this in the secondary at the safety position with Jackson McIntyre out last week. So Caleb had to play both sides to be able to fill in that role, and Caleb made a big impact on the offensive side of the ball. But a big thing as well, we've talked a lot about the passing and how well Anthony Rizak and Colby Brown earlier this season have been able to widen their zones to be able to get a lot of guys in open opportunities. We have not talked enough about this Westside offensive line, how big this group has been this season. I mean, they've only allowed 2 sacks in the last 3 weeks, have put up and allowed or pushed forward 941 rushing yards between the 2 Rizaks as well as Kurt Coolidge and a little bit of Andrew Nielsen these last 3 weeks. And they've had 7 different starters, 5 of which are underclassmen.
Yeah, they've really developed that offensive line from the start of the season. I think that was a big question mark coming into the year, how good that offensive line was going to be. But now that Westside rushing game ranks 6th in the state with over 1,200 rushing yards this season. So they have really developed that offensive line, and that is what has made this offense so potent.
So with that close win for the Warriors, look now at the Omaha World Herald Class A rankings. I'll admit I have a lot of questions near the bottom half of this list from Stu. But the top 4 is where they're at. You got Millard South, who's been dominating all season consistently at number 1. There's no question who is number 1 team in the state. It's Millard South. Number 2, Bellevue West. They've looked a little sluggish back and forth. They're playing Millard West here tonight. They'll see how that one will go. Of course, you'll get updates throughout the night on The Bottom Line ticker. That's a new thing I want to shout out that we've been able to put in this season. Only group in the state and that I know of in the Midwest that has that, so we would love to be giving out those different updates. Of course, Westside at 3, staying where they're at. Prep at 4, Elkhorn South at 5, Gretna at 6, Burke, Lincoln East, Millard West, and Lincoln Southeast. This 9 and 10 is really where I'm questioning things. Having Millard West at 9 is an odd thing, but Lincoln East not being pushed up as well. But a big thing here as well, Elkhorn South played Gretna last night. That was a huge back-and-forth game. That was a fun game to watch. I was there. It was an amazing game. Elkhorn South came back down 14-0 at halftime to take down Zane Flores and Gretna. Zane Flores, that offensive line, really struggled in that second half for him. So Elkhorn South was able to get the win and could be consistently at that 5 spot. But Westside trying to continue themselves in the top group.
But, Jaden, more importantly than that was the wild card standings. Now Gretna has a loss, and that is big where Westside could move up.
And a big thing with wild card standings overall, Westside is currently projected to be the 4 seed. We'll see how that Gretna game has gone in going forward. Gretna currently was number 2. They had Millard South at 1, Gretna at 2, Bellevue West, and then Westside then at 4. And that Gretna loss will be a really big thing to see who Westside can go up against in those first 2-round matchups. Elkhorn South could possibly jump up as well. There's a lot of different wins and losses throughout these district games that could be a big thing to see.
But what's important, you want to get that number 2 spot so you can get the home field for the semifinals and the playoffs. If Westside can go up in the seedings up to number 2, that's a big bonus for them in the playoffs.
So really overall, we've seen 2 basic tiers of top teams here in Class A. Of course, the top 3 are Millard South, Bellevue West, and Westside. 2 ranked wins for Millard South, 1 ranked win for Bellevue West. Technically 2 ranked wins here for Westside and what they've been able to bring. But a big thing here, how can Westside jump up to be able to be one of the top teams in the state and have a chance of going back-to-back?
Creighton Prep. If Creighton Prep wins out, they'll be 7-2. I think that'll be a big bonus for Westside when they do the final seedings. And if Creighton Prep does, and it looks like I think they play Elkhorn South at the end of the season. If they can win those next 3 games, they're going to be one of the top seeds.
Looking at the second tier, originally last night I had this one down. I had Gretna down in the second tier, which Elkhorn South, the way they played in that second half was huge. That first half team, that second half team was entirely different for Elkhorn South, and they can keep that up. They're a legitimate contender to be one of the top teams in the state and be out one of those 2 teams. Of course, you have Creighton Prep and Lincoln East there as well.
I think people forget that the Storm, they were the state runner-up a year ago. They have a good team, and a lot of those players that came within 1 victory of a state championship when they faced Westside here at Phelps Field, a lot of those players are back, and they're looking to make it back to the state championship game, so don't count Elkhorn South out.
We'll take a quick break here on the KB pregame show. Once we get back, we'll get more into this matchup here tonight, get our player spotlight of the night, and our Viking Industrial Painting keys to the game. Here at Fells Field, here for this homecoming matchup. Number 3 Westside and the Norfolk Panthers here tonight. Once again, my name is Jaden Taylor, along with Jernstrom here to continue this KB pregame show. So looking at Norfolk's road to this matchup, they've beaten the teams they should have beat, and they've really struggled against the teams that are ahead of them.
Absolutely. You know, they've had a tough road ahead, but the last 2 weeks they have won when they've defeated Benson 24-0, and they beat Bryan 35-6. So they've got back-to-back wins, looking for their 3rd win in a row tonight. But if you look at their schedule, Papillion clobbered them, shut them out 51-0. Lincoln East beat them 56-7. They had a close game with Columbus, 28-14, and they breezed past Omaha South. So they've beaten 3 Metro teams, the teams that they should have beaten. So they come in with a 3-3 record, but more importantly, they're undefeated so far in district play.
And a big thing here as well, although it's very odd and a very unlikely situation, Norfolk is still the only team other than Westside that has an opportunity to take home the A6 district title. It's very far off, right? So we start off with this. The A6 district other than Westside has been the worst district in all of Class A as well as Class B when you go down to record-wise. But Westside currently 6-0. They've beaten Grand Island. So Grand Island, if they win outright, Westside would have the factor over them. Norfolk, if they win out and Westside loses out, if they win here tonight, Norfolk would become the A6 district title champion. Westside, a win here tonight would lock it up.
You're dreaming there, Jaden.
Always want to see hypotheticals. That's what our job is up here. That's what our job is up in the booth.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a tough road ahead for Westside not to win their district. They were handed a very easy schedule by the NSAA this season, and their district is not among the strongest, but Millard North and Grand Island, they're going to be there at the end.
So looking at last year, I mean, we headed out to Norfolk last year for that matchup, and Westside blew this one open earlier. Avante Dickerson had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a punt return kick for a touchdown, as well as a kick return for a touchdown. Then add that on to a pick 6. I don't know. I have talked to Kirkman, our athletic director here at Westside. There is no record of that ever happening here at Westside, much less in the state of Nebraska.
And that's why he's playing as a freshman at the University of Oregon. That's why he was one of the most highly recruited players ever to come out of Omaha Westside. And Avante was a special player ever since he stepped on the field here at Westside. He was a triple threat, kickoff returns, running back, and also receiving.
Of course, Cole Payton also with 217 yards, and that one a big win for the Warriors. We'll see how they can do tonight. But Norfolk, if they want to get themselves into this one and make any kind of noise, they're really going to be leaning on these three guys. QB Caden Termis has been doing everything for this Norfolk team, has been continually rushing the ball, has been continuing finding himself passing-wise so far this season. 27 for 53, which is not great passing. 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also does have 183 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. They're also going to see a lot of Payson Owen and wide receiver Talon Bauman. Those are the three guys we're going to see here tonight for Norfolk.
Yeah, the player to watch is Caden Termis because he makes everything go on the offense as the quarterback. He's 27 of 53 passes for 317 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has 52 carries for 183 yards and 3 touchdowns. He makes the offense go for the Panthers.
So looking at these two teams statistically, Westside way outweighs this Norfolk team offensively as well as defensively. Of course, 201 average rushing yards on this season for Westside, another 153 passing yards. Norfolk is really struggling in the passing game, only 56 yards per game total this season. They also have 7 interceptions compared to only 3 touchdowns, compared to a 10 touchdown, 1 interception year for both Teddy Rizek as well as Colby Brown. It'll be interesting to see how those two switch up here tonight. It'll be a big story to see who the backups might be able to come in if Westside's able to pull away early.
Yeah, I'd look for those starters to really break out to a big lead tonight, and we're going to see a lot of seniors who don't normally start tonight. Since this is homecoming, you want it to be special for one of their final games here at Westside.
So we'll take our final break here in the KB pregame show. Once we come back, national anthem, and getting yourselves ready for kickoff.
Color guard coordinators, Miss Liz Lynham and Miss Sammy Unick. Frontline specialists, Miss Morgan Herrera and Mr. Mitch Eldridge. Middle school band, Mr. Tim Rieshling. Elementary school band, Mr. Mike Freeland and Mrs. Gail Carpenter Johnson. Music office secretary, of course, the lovely Mrs. Jennifer Kaufman. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are able, please stand as our Westside Warrior Bands, conducted by drum majors Alexandra Brown, Matemi Davies, and Kaylee Jones-Siebert, perform our national anthem.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Here at Phelps Field, finishing up our KB pregame show. We'll talk a little bit more about our Vikings Industrial keys to the game here tonight for Westside. It's all going to be about being able to be sound offensively and defensively.
Absolutely. The Westside Warriors have to protect that secondary. Can't let any big plays get behind them during this game. That's what hurt them against Millard North last week, and they need to work on that to prepare for the playoffs later this month. That is a big thing for the secondary, and they do not want to take this Norfolk team for granted. Even though their record is 3-3 on the season, they do have back-to-back wins. They're improving as a team, and it's important not to let them, get out to a good start in this game. So Westside has to take control of the start. And the other thing is find the rhythm early. Westside has really got to get that tempo fast and on the scoreboard like they did earlier this month when they played Grand Island. They jumped out to a big lead early in the game and held on to win it. So that's what they have to do. Those were the keys to the game against this Norfolk team tonight.
So looking at Norfolk, it's going to be a big thing. They got to execute and execute perfectly here all night for them, I mean, it's got to be able to get Westside caught off guard in that first drive. They got to find a little bit more of the passing game. They got to put pressure in the backfield. They got to get Anthony Rizak uncomfortable.
Yeah, for Norfolk, they need to really stop Dominic Rizak. He is what has made Westside a difference maker here these last few weeks, breaking the school rushing record with 308 yards. And he's had big, long runs against the opponents the last few weeks. And they need to find a passing game. And they need to put pressure in the backfield against Westside.
So that will end here for the KB pregame show. We're just under 4 minutes away from kickoff. When we come back, we'll get into introductions. We'll see the Westside Warriors come out on the field.
Oh, you have it?
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. May God be with you all.
As Sugar Ray loves to call it, it's game time here tonight. Westside looking to continue their unbeaten streak here up against Norfolk and clinch the A6 district title here tonight on homecoming night. A big crowd here for the Warriors. Red Sealed student section is packed up to the back.
Jaden, there are a lot of fans still entering this stadium right now. We've got a great crowd. Of course, it's 81 degrees here, and it's a great autumn night, an October night for high school football, and we've got a lot of fans here. The student body really turned out. They're all the way up to the final railing to watch this game tonight, but still a lot of fans pouring into the stadium. They had a homecoming tailgate for the alumni over at the Alumni House earlier tonight, so those fans are still coming over to the game right now.
Norfolk won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. And talk about state championships. That student section right there is one that knows state championships, 4-time student section state champions for Omaha High School sports. This one's going to get underway. 3 back deep for the Warriors. And a little line drive kick will go out of bounds just past Caleb Benning. And the Warriors will get a little extra field position as they start out here tonight.
It's just important for this Westside team just to get out to a good start here at the beginning. Not get any penalties, any turnovers here. Just work the ball downfield. Maybe get that running game started with Dominic Rizak and his brother Anthony at quarterback, just to get this tempo started for this Westside team from the start.
Once again, it's going to be a question how much we'll see of Dominic Rizak here tonight, depending upon how Westside can do here to start this one off. We'll see Anthony Rizak, his brother, the sophomore, in the shotgun here. 3 out wide here for the Warriors. And motion out in the slot here for Caleb Benning. Pass out to Dominic Rizak, trying to find an open hole. And breaks 2 tackles, be pushed out of bounds. And he gains the first down here early, and the Westside offense is getting going.
Great play to open the game with, a little swing pass out to the flat to Dominic Rizak, and he finds some big yardage down the left side for 15 yards.
Strong side I formation here for the Warriors. They'll hand it off to Rizak once again. He'll be stopped behind the line, the Norfolk defensive line. Saw number 74, Kyle Gallage, the first one in there.
Well, that's a game plan for Norfolk tonight, to stop Dominic Rizak up the middle. They've watched those game films of the last few games, and that's been Westside's strongest point of their offense, is his running up the middle and finding an opening for touchdowns.
Little pitch out. We give it off to Rizak, trying to cut back in the middle, breaks another tackle, and looks like the ball's out. Rizak might have coughed it up. We'll see what the official says here. They'll have Rizak down at about the 48-yard line of the Panthers. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory for Westside, so they'll look to just get that first down. They only have 5 yards to go, so they got 2 more downs to get it.
Once again, they'll have a strong side eye set here for the Warriors. And once again, actually we'll see Anthony try to roll outside of the pocket in the near far sideline. Throw up pass to Carter Hogan is just past the reach of his arms. That'll bring up a 4th down. It's decision time here for Coach Freund.
I was a little surprised at that call when you have the ability to get 2 more downs for a first down, and instead of trying to pass it there was nowhere near the receiver on that play. So they'll try to get this, and they'll go for it here on 4th down and 5.
Odd thing here, Grant Guyette and Jack James currently on this team, the only players on this team that have experience against Norfolk. A little quick pass over to Grant Guyette, breaks a couple tackles, and will get down to the 28-yard line. It'll be another Warrior first down.
Grant Guyette, one of the top receivers for this Westside team. He leads the Warriors in reception, and he ranks among the top receivers in the state with 6 touchdowns.
Nice, cool night, October night here for the Warriors. 3 games left in the regular season for this team. See if they can pinch one open here. Open field here for Dominic Rizak. Big stiff arm. He looked at the defender behind him and threw him down.
Boy,
that was number 44, Jackson Boss, excuse me. And man, Rizak is showing out.
That was a strong run. He put that right arm out and nailed him.
Westside staying with the I formation here on another 1st and 10. 3 out wide and early movement. That'll be a false start. It looks like as Jack James on that far side of the line. He's not happy with himself. James, not a guy that you see a lot that is getting a lot of different penalties. He's one of the biggest pieces of this Westside offensive line, is really a big piece to maybe see for contention to be an all-stater.
Yeah, that's not conducive to what he does in games. That's one of the very few times we've seen him do that.
Rizak steps back, across the middle, wide open, touchdown Warriors! 16-yard pass to Grant Guyette across the seam, and Westside scores early.
And that was a beautiful touchdown pass just over the middle. He was wide open right in front of the goalpost, just a post pattern, and the Warriors are on the board, and that's what they needed to do on this opening drive of the game.
Tristan Albano will come to put away the PAT. Albano perfect on the season, only one missed field goal out of his opportunities and makes that one look easy. They started off, quick drive.
Well, it was a 65-yard drive, and they did it in precision. The only question was the fourth down play, and they made it on a pass, and they looked very impressive here to start the game against the Panthers.
So we'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, more Westside action. They lead it here early, 7-0. Two back deep. Pace and Owen, the main one back deep here for the Panthers. And Tristan Albano will kick this one away. And that one will go through the back of the end zone, and Norfolk will start off their first drive at the 20-yard line.
Tristan's had a great season on kickoffs. He's had a lot of touchbacks this season, and that is a big thing for this Warrior team when they can just have the ball out at the 20-yard line and not let them get too far out running the ball. But Tristan Albano's really done a great job with his kickoffs this season.
Only has one kick this season that was actually returned. It was a squib kick earlier this season. All of his boots have gone to the back of the end zones. Also kicked a 41 and a 47-yarder. Handoff up the middle to Owen. And it'll be a gain of 1 for the Panthers.
Yeah, this will be interesting here at the start of the game to see who dominates the trenches early in the game and see if Westside can push that Norfolk offensive line back. So far, a 1-yard gain on the opening play of the game. They're going to test him out, the Panthers, and see what they can do against this Westside defense.
2nd and 8 here for the Panthers. That first drive for the Warriors, like you mentioned, 6 plays for 65 yards. It's a quick scoring drive for the Warriors. Talman over the outside, that drop, and it'll be incomplete. It's number 7, Taylor Bauman.
And that's the game plan for Norfolk, just some short little plays, nothing too big. The only, we have discussed it in our pregame shows, the Achilles heel for this Westside team is when receivers have gotten behind the secondary and they've gotten big plays for touchdowns, and that's what Westside does not want to happen tonight.
Big 3rd down defensively here for the Warriors. Caden Terman is trying to get something going here in this first drive for the Panthers after a quick scoring drive to start out the game for the Warriors. Pistol set. Will pass out in the flat to the far side, and 2 Warrior defenders wrapping it up there. Teddy Rizak was the first one on the tackle.
But Westside got great pressure on the Norfolk quarterback that time. He didn't have much time to throw the ball, and he got a big hit at the end of the throw. I'm surprised that the referee did not throw a flag on that play because he got hit pretty good.
Back deep here for the Warriors will be Caleb Benning. A quick scoring drive for the Warriors and a quick 3 and out on defense. Exactly the way this team wanted to start. A high punt, looks to be near the 45-yard line, and Norfolk will take a west side bounce, and the Warriors will start once again in even better field position. They'll be in Norfolk territory.
22-yard punt there for Norfolk, and they didn't even get it past the 50-yard line. So Westside's in great field position for their second possession of the game, just 42 yards away from the end zone.
So Westside's offense will come out once again. Of course, this offense has really been a big piece. These skilled players, although not as big or as big of a presence as they were last year, it's really been a lot about efficiency on the offensive side of the ball for this team. Handoff up the middle. Rizak trying to find a hole, be clipped up, and will gain about 2, and it'll be about a 2nd and 8.
Dominic Rizak comes into this game as the second leading rusher in the state behind Peterson of Millard West, and he's really just gotten better every game after that breakout game where he had 308 yards.
Of course, a school record back up against Grand Island. That was our last stream here at Westside. A huge night, beat Collins Okafor's 2007 record by 1 single yard in that one. And Rizak gets himself on the record board here at Westside. Little pass out to the flats. Grant Guyette trying to make something out of it. So gain about 5. A good yard after the catch opportunity there for Grant Guyette. He was able to make somewhat of an opportunity out. It'll make it 3rd and 3.
And Anthony's done a good job here at the start directing this offense. A lot of short plays, short passes to get this offense just in tempo right now.
Handoff once again. 2 Norfolk defenders in there deep. Tanner Eisenhower, the first one to clip up Rizak, and we talked about it going into this one. That was going to be the main way that Norfolk would keep themselves in this one, so they had to stop Dominic Rizak. Looks like we have a Westside lineman down in the field. There's a lot of banging up on that offensive line. Looks to be number 32, Andrew Nielsen. It's their fullback.
And that's the one thing you don't want to have happen in a game like this is, you know, have some players injured where you might need them down the road, and, they may not need a lot of players in this game tonight. So you try to, avoid as many injuries, and he's going to walk off the field, and that's good.
It's good for Andrew. I think it might have been got maybe gut punched a little bit, got the air taken out of him, but Nielsen will come out the field. 2 other starting fullbacks here for this Warrior team. We've seen a little bit of Mark Gurnett as well as Michael Zimmerman is the 3rd string fullback for this team. But now we'll just see a straight I formation here for the Warriors. Little pitch out to Dominic Rizak once again. They're going to stop him behind the line on 4th and 3. Norfolk able to make a big defensive opportunity here, and it might give them some momentum here with 6:33 left to go here in the first.
That's a big confidence builder for this Panther team. They stop Westside, get a 2-yard loss on 3rd down, and then on 4th down they stop Westside for no gain. Very impressive showing by this Panther defense to give them a boost, and they've got the ball now at their own 35-yard line. Little momentum for Norfolk right now.
We'll see what the offense can do with it. Back-to-back drives where we saw Freund go for it on 4th down. Both those plays were out of the 35-yard line. Little quick move in the defensive line for the Warriors. Owen trying to get back through and will not gain a yard. It'll make it a 2nd and 10.
You look at that offensive line for Norfolk. It's not a very big line compared to what Westside has on defense. So size could be a big factor up there in the trenches between those 2 teams, like who's going to win the battle up front.
The offensive line for Norfolk has 2 juniors, a senior, and a sophomore. Jurgensen, the right tackle, Dixon at the right guard, Arnold at the center position, Mallory at the left guard, and Hefner at the left tackle. Pistol formation here once again. Little zipped up pass, still up in the air, picked off. Isaac Richard able to take that one at home. and the Warriors will get the ball back at the 44-yard line. Beautiful tip drill there for the Warriors. They get the ball right back.
Everything came together on that play for the Westside defense. They got a lot of pressure on the Norfolk quarterback. He released the ball, and then it was tipped into the hands of a Westside defender. And I'll tell you what, it was a team effort there. 3 guys made that interception happen.
Talking about that big hit on Termis after you're just barely able to get that one off. The big thing to talk about as well for this team, we really haven't talked about the linebacking core of how big of a role they've had to play. Tommy Connolly's been out a couple games this season, so we've seen a lot of Kurt Kubrich and a little bit of some other guys as well as Bo Ryan. A big run here from Dominic Rizak. Another first down. Warriors really gaining momentum back here. Yeah,
you've seen the momentum shift with that interception. Westside comes out right away with a first down on their very first play of this drive.
It is a Warrior first down, 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Once again, they'll give it off to Dominic. He's stopped at the line once again. Norfolk's defensive line really holding even here with Westside's offensive line. The running game has been decent here tonight, but it has not been its normal explosiveness.
Yeah, I'm surprised how well Norfolk has defended against the run in the middle. When Westside takes the ball to the outside, they've had a lot more success with their swing passes to Rizak, and they've really gained some yards there. But in the middle, not so successful.
Defensive line, or setup overall for Norfolk, is a 4-3. We've seen a lot of two-way players here for the Warriors. And a long play, Kurt Cooper just trying to get back out to the line. And it'll gain about a yard, but way to make something out of nothing for Kubrich, but it'll be a long third down here for the Warriors.
Good pursuit by that Norfolk defense. They really bottled that sweep up and did not let the Warriors get much yardage on that play, so good job on defense by the Panthers.
Passing game has really helped out the Warriors so far. That big 16-yard pass play and that first drive. That'll be the shotgun here for Anthony Rizak. He'll roll out, far sideline, trying to find something. Will throw it up. 3-man in coverage. Was that caught? It was. What a play down near the far sideline. Number 81, Trevor Spady, coming to this one. A 5th-string wide receiver comes in and grabs it, and Anthony just threw that one up for grabs.
Yeah, I don't think he was the intended receiver on that play. As a matter of fact, he just kind of wandered in there at the end of the pass and caught the ball just before it went out of bounds.
Stacked eye here at the 5-yard line. They'll hand it off to Rizak. Opens untouched into the end zone. Westside scores once again. 3 drives, 2 touchdowns for the Warriors. And they're a PAT away. We're going up 14-0 here, and we're not just barely over halfway in this first quarter.
43-yard drive for the Warriors on that one. And I'll tell you what, they just marched it downfield. They did a little passing, did a little running. They did a really nice job on that.
Alvano once again. This one is blocked. Alvano's first missed PAT of the season. And it'll stay at 13-0. Saw 2 guys on the far side come in and barely get a hand on that one. So Westside will stay even at 13-0. A 5-play drive for the Warriors. So they'll, as we head to break here on WTV Live, the Warriors holding on here 7-0. Nothing in favor of the Warriors. 2 big drives here for Westside after an interception, a little tip drill Isaac Richard was able to come back it down. Then Dominic Rizak with the untouched 6-yard score. And Norfolk once again will start off at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Alvano really came back after that blocked kick there. I don't know if it was a breakdown in the tackle, letting somebody through, but I could tell head coach Brent Foyt was not happy about it. He greeted the special teams when they came off the field to talk to him. So, you know, that's a little thing that could really hurt them down the line when you miss extra points like that. And although it's the first one they've missed this season, they add up.
The second overall, any kind of kick that Tristan Alvano has missed this season. Little run up the gut for Payson Owen. He'll be pushed and taken off his feet, but he'll gain about 4. It'll be a 2nd and 6.
Westside just needs to keep that pressure on that Norfolk offensive line like they have. Every time Norfolk's gone back to pass, they've gotten plenty of pressure. They've gotten to the quarterback, and it's turned into an interception, a tipped interception. They need to force those turnovers with big plays like they had on the previous series.
Pistol set once again. Little pitch out. Owen trying to get to the near sideline. Will be pulled out of bounds, but will gain 2 yards. They won't call a horse collar. They will. The flag is down. Looks like it was a horse collar there from Isaac Richard, the defensive back that we saw an interception just moments ago.
Yeah, that was not a smart play by the Warriors on that tackle. Tackled him out of bounds, more or less threw the running back down on the ground, and that'll be another first down for this Norfolk offense. It's going to bring the ball all the way out to the 42-yard line. Big penalty, big mistake by the Warriors on defense.
We'll see what Norfolk can do here. Definitely need some kind of scoring opportunity for the Panthers, for them to still stay in this one here early. Terminus will hand it off to Owen off the gut once again. Big play defensively. Number 10, R.J. Gunderson, the outside linebacker, came storming in from the near side to take down Owen. And at most, it's a gain of a half a yard.
Tell you what, Jaden, there's a little talking going down there, a little pushing after the whistle. These two teams are fired up, and this Norfolk team, they don't want to get pushed around, and they're moving this ball downfield.
Remember last year, if this does come into anything, we want to talk, I'm not sure if many people understand this reference, but Randall Cunningham against the Cowboys in the 1994 lockout. But Westside up against Norfolk this past year put another touchdown on the board at the end of the game into the fourth quarter when it was way gone. I'm not sure if Norfolk might have taken that one personally. But once again, a linebacker makes a big play. Tommy Connolly back in this one once again. Talk about Tommy Connolly. This dude had just about a dislocated shoulder, has just about a half fractured hand, and he has come out and played these last 3 games at the linebacker position. Also does have an assist with his cast after a tipped interception up against Grand Island. That still might be the funniest play I've ever seen in my life.
Well, he may want to play with a cast the rest of his career as how well he's playing, let me tell you.
Terminus will step back, trying to find something. 2 guys on him, and he'll be sacked in the backfield. R.J. Gunderson, the first one to get to him. It'll be a very, very long 4th down, and the Panthers unable to get something out of this drive, and they'll punt it away once again.
Well, the big play was that unnecessary tackle along the sidelines, gave him a first down, but now they have to punt it away.
Another odd punt. Benning will call for a fair catch, and he'll take it at the 35-yard line. So Westside continually up here. It's a 13-0 score with 1:02 left. We'll see if Westside can continue their offensive dominance. Of course,
Warriors in great position again. They've had the ball at the 35-yard line, at the 42-yard line, and now they're starting from their 35-yard line. They've had great field position, and that's a big difference in this game, the way that they've started every drive tonight.
Some Some updates around Class A before we get into this drive. Lincoln Southwest is tied up with Papio La Vista at 0. Prep up on Lincoln Northeast 14-0. Bellevue West looking to blow out Millard West for the second time in 2 seasons, up 14-0 currently. Omaha North is up on Pius 14-0. Millard North and Grand Island tied at 0. And a Columbus game really quickly, 12-7. But the big game of the night is not even in Class A. A number 1 and number 2 matchup in Class B, 14-7 in favor of number 1 Bennington over Elkhorn currently. That's a big game to watch. Those are 2 teams that I could definitely say might not be in contention for the top 5, but could definitely be in some of the top 10 teams here even in Class A.
Absolutely. That Bennington team is really strong. Of course, they're getting a lot of students out there. That's where the city's moving, and that high school is really growing. They've got great facilities. Look for Bennington in the future to be the Class B power.
Anthony Rizak out to Grant Guyette on this long second down. Will be able to gain about 7. It'll bring a third down in about a middle of 5 and 6.
You know, this Westside team does a great job of balancing out their offense, mixing in the run and the pass. And you know what? That will prove so beneficial down the road when they face some really strong opponents, that they don't have that one thing that opponents can stop.
So that will end off the first quarter here. Westside will have a 3rd and 5 once we come back. Currently up 13-0. Warriors looking to continue to show out here on homecoming night. Play here for the Warriors here at the start of the second quarter. Anthony Rizak going out of the pocket. He's going to take it himself. There's a flag in the backfield. Anthony Rizak for now has a first down, but we'll see what the penalty flag is.
That's usually holding when it's out there in the backfield, and it looks like it's against Westside.
Flag on the play.
And that'll push the ball back to the 26-yard line. And boy, that's a long way to go all the way out to the 45-yard line to get a first down.
A big penalty and make it a 3rd and 18.
So 3rd and 18.
Rizak will go back up in the pocket. He's going to take it himself once again. Try to go to the far sideline. Tries to get to the corner. And it'll be pushed out of bounds about the 39-yard line. It'll be not enough for the first down. Not quite sure if you're in 4th down territory here, but Freund has been very aggressive here today.
No, I think you got to send the punting team out, and that's what he's doing right now. When you're that deep in your own territory at the 40-yard line, you're going to punt it away. Now, if it was on the other side at 40 of Norfolk, then you could go for it, but not this early in the game.
McKee back deep here for the Panthers. Dylan McKee here to punt here for Westside. Long line drive punt. Continues to go back. Continues to get a really good Westside roll. Go inside the 10. And Dylan McKee, a great punt here tonight. And the Panthers will start off with a 1st and 10 at their own 9.
That running rugby-style kick can sometimes be the best thing ever, and it was there, the ball rolling all the way down to the 9-yard line. I'll tell you what, that's a great weapon to have sometimes when you really need a big punt, and Westside got it there, deep in their territory. They've got Norfolk in a hole right here. And they've got 3 receivers to the far side of the field.
Norfolk for the first time today going to spread it out wide. They'll still hand it off to Payson Owen up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, will be taken down. It looks like Jackson McIntyre back into this ball game after being out last week up against Millard North.
Westside needs to really keep this Norfolk offense in the hole, not let them get out, make them punt down near their own goal line. So this is a big series for this Westside defense to keep the Panthers in a hole here and make them punt from deep in their own territory.
Once again, they'll widen it out here on 2nd and 8. A little movement at the line, and it looks like it'll be a false start.
Yeah, that'll push them back even farther. It's really tough to run your offense when you're that far deep in your own territory. It'll be interesting to see how much pressure Westside puts on them now on 2nd down and long.
Update over at Elkhorn and Bennington. Bennington has blown it open here early in the 2nd quarter. They're up 21-0.
Beat 2nd down, 2nd and 12. Around the 6-yard line.
That'll be a big indication of who's really the top team in Class B. Of course, Bennington is really known for their rushing attack. Dylan Mostick with over 1,400 yards this season on the ground. That is the most in the state among all classes. As you see another flag here, looks like it'll be a delay of game, and Norfolk continuing to push themselves further and further back in their own territory.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty to have for Norfolk. Now it's going to put them probably inside the 5-yard line, and they really are backed way against the goal line right now, and it's going to be tough just to run a play, not and get out of the end zone. They've got to be careful for a safety here.
And make it 3 in a row. 3 back-to-back-to-back flags. It looks like it'll be on the offense again. We'll see who it is. So it is on the defense this time. So it looks like Ryan Zaska jumped a little bit back early. But it looks like both offensive lines aren't really, the 2 guys in the trenches aren't really helping the rest of the teams out.
Yeah, that drives the defensive coaches crazy when stuff like that happens when you got them in a hole.
Terman's going to take it himself, wide open opportunity. He'll slide down. A little bit of a late hit there, but called no call. So to make it about a 3rd and 4, we'll see if Norfolk can try to bring some kind of drive here. Well, they'll take, looks like Westside will take their first time out of the first half. And Westside here tonight has been consistently dominating all parts of the offense. 77 total passing yards, 66 total rushing yards. On the other side for Norfolk, they have 0 total yards, -3 passing yards, another 3 rushing yards, and the Panthers just cannot find anything offensively.
Yeah, the only first down that Norfolk has gotten in this game is off a penalty on a late hit along the sideline. So the Westside defense done a really good job. It's interesting that the Westside coaching staff has called for a timeout here with 3rd down and 6 yards to go for a first down, but they just want to keep this Norfolk team in a hole and make them punt deep in their own territory.
Yeah, a big thing that hasn't been as noticed for this Westside team, although the secondary has been a big piece as well, that they need to be very much so improved. The penalties here for the Warriors, all 6 games of the season and currently here in the 7th, they have had the most penalty yards in each and every one of their games. Currently have 5 penalties for 40 yards. Big 3rd down and 3 here for the Panthers. Little option play here to the far sideline. Termes is going to be able to make the pass, but it'll be close to the first down. And they'll give it a first down, I believe, here for Norfolk, and they will. Be a 1st and 10 here, the second first down of the day for the Panthers.
Yeah, I think Westside tried to they thought they were going to probably run the ball. They weren't expecting the pass, and they were able to get that first down for Norfolk.
Just hit the 8.5-minute mark here in the first half. The Panthers will open up wide once again. Little slant pass across the middle. Great defensive play right there. But it looks like there'll be a flag down. We might see some pass interference defensively.
Yeah, it looked like he might have interfered with the receiver there. Got there a little too early with the pass over the middle. His left arm got in there to try to deflect the ball, but also interfered with the receiver. So it'll be a first down for Norfolk. And they're moving this ball here, Jaden, on penalties. And that's what's hurt Westside so far in this game. For Norfolk, most of their offense has come off penalties.
Bo Ryan was the one got caught a little bit early on that pass. So far tonight, 55 total penalty yards for the Warriors. And we're not even halfway through the second quarter. Termis will hand it off to Owen. A little spin move, cut out to the outside, trying to get to the corner. It'll be near the first down. It'll move the chains once again here for the Panthers, trying to find some kind of live momentum here.
Norfolk really showed some stuff there on that drive. They pitched the ball to the outside, and he ran right through the right side of that Westside defense, found some holes, some great running, and they got a first down. And now Norfolk's starting to put something together here midway through the second quarter.
Owen has been the main man rushing, the junior. Coming into tonight has 281 yards, and he'll be stuffed there at the offensive line. They'll bring up a second down.
Westside really plugged that up in the middle there. Good job by the interior defensive line there to stop that run. Good job by the linebackers, put up a lot of pressure there to plug that hole, and that's what Westside needs to do, and no gain for Norfolk on that play.
High snap. Termis will have to be taken down in the backfield. Colt Haberman bursted through that offensive line. Will bring up a long third down here for the Panthers.
Great job by Haberman up the middle there. Went for that quarterback and sacked him, just grabbed him, threw him down like he was on the wrestling mat there. And great defensive play for Westside there. Now brings up 3rd and long.
Cole Haberman, of course, just like his brother Cade, currently down at Northern Illinois. It's a really big wrestler. We'll see him a lot this upcoming winter for this wrestling team. The big thing to talk about with that team as well, they're going to be one of the top 3 teams in the state this year. Might have a chance to be able to compete with Middle South. A little pass out to the slants. The flats. We take it down to bring up a long 4th down. And after some big opportunities there for Norfolk.
Great job by Westside there. They did a good job on that little pass out into the flat. Good defensive play. They did a really good job. And now it brings up a punting situation.
That one almost blocked. Kurt Kubrish was able to get really close to that one. Caleb Benning to try to find an open space here. Down the near sideline. One man to beat to the corner. To be taken out of bounds. Near the 20-yard line, a big return there for Caleb Benning.
Great job by Caleb Benning on that punt return. There was a lot of traffic when he caught the ball near the 30-yard line. He was able to find an opening down the right side, showed some of his speed. He's so versatile as a football player. As a receiver, last week he was our player of the game. He's also one of the best defenders in the state. He ranks 2nd in the state in tackles. So Caleb Benning really does it all for this Warrior team on special teams, offense and defense. And there you saw what he did as a punt return, but they're going to bring this one back all the way back to the 40-yard line for a penalty.
Sadly, block in the back. Looked like a couple guys were could have also seen a chop block on that play as well, but the Westside Warriors will start off at their own 40. Anthony Rizak across the middle. Beautiful pass, tipped up and around. Carter Hogan unable to bring that one in.
That was a dangerous pass, Jaden. I'll tell you what, there were Norfolk players in the secondary all over the receiver. That was a risky play. The biggest enemy for this Westside team tonight has been penalties, but a play like that in a dangerous situation could turn this game around.
So bring up a 2nd and 10 here. Anthony will now head it off to his brother Dominic, and he'll gain about 3, so to bring up a 3rd and long here. Westside, don't want to say slowing down here on their 5th drive of the game, but definitely not showing their explosiveness that we've seen in the last couple of drives.
Norfolk has stepped up their game on defense. They've really plugged up the middle. Rizak hasn't been able to find an opening like he has in the past, and they're doing a good job up front for those Panthers.
3rd down and 6, high snap. Anthony Rizak will take it back in the backfield, give it off to Carter Hogan. Beautiful pass across the middle. Hogan able to get another 1st down. The Warriors will be down at the 47.
Carter Hogan wide open over the middle, and Rizak found him. Just a perfect throw for the 1st down, and brings the ball all the way out to the 48-yard line of Norfolk.
Anthony's really liked Carter this season, especially across the middle. We'll like to see being able to get it past a lot of the linebackers across the middle, as this run up the gut will go for about 2 yards. It'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
You know, Westside has not had a lot of success between the tackles tonight running the football. Norfolk's done a good job slowing that Westside running game down through the interior line, and it's a battle up front there.
3 out wide here for the Warriors here on 2nd down. Another odd snap there to Rizak. This one tipped up, almost intercepted, but barely falls down. It was tipped at the line. And Rizak's passing game has somewhat struggled here in this 5th drive.
Yeah, you see some of the receivers are not wide open. Hogan got open on one play, but the other receivers have not had a lot of room and separation with the defenders there for Norfolk, so Rizak hasn't been able to find that open receiver because they just aren't. And Norfolk is going to call a timeout here with 4:27 left in the 1st half.
So Westside will have a 3rd and 7 when we come back. They lead 13-0 here with 4:31 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. Back here with 3rd and 7 here with 4:25 left to go here in this 1st half. See what Westside can do here in a big drive. Trying to blow this one open. Anthony Rizak steps in the pocket. Long pass, near sideline, caught. Grant Guyette will be inside the 5. 3 defenders on him, and he overthrew him. Guyette with a beautiful play, and Westside in big business.
Great pass there by Rizak. Found his guy wide open. Guyette down there at the 5-yard line. Just a great throw on big play on 3rd down, and now they're threatening to score.
Quick snap here, bunched up set, Wildcat. Rizak trying to go to the near sideline, punch back in and into the end zone. Dominic Rizak, 2 touchdowns on the night, and this one makes it a 3-score game for the Warriors.
Just a great play over the right side, a quick snap after that big long pass play. And this Westside offense, which is kind of stalled here in the 2nd quarter, came through with the big play on 3rd down, and then get the touchdown run by Rizak. And I'll tell you what, he's had, let's see now, 92 points this season for Dominic Rizak. one of the top scorers in Class A.
Yeah, Rizak, 4th in Class A in scoring. Really opened it up after that big Grand Island game. That's really what started his big push this entire season. So the Warriors make it a 20-0 game. We'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. Once again, the Warriors blowing it open here on homecoming night. They look to show out for their fans. Alvano boots this one away, and Owen will be able to get it at the 1-yard line. Trying to make something out of it back across the middle. Breaks out a couple tackles and makes a good return there. So Norfolk will start off at the 30.
Yeah, the kickoff team hasn't had much practice on returning kicks this season so far because they've had so many touchbacks. But I'll tell you what, Norfolk almost broke that one open right there. Ball coming out all the way to the 35-yard line. Good return by the Panthers. And they're, you know, this is an important part of the first half right here, just to get Norfolk, stop them here so Westside can get the ball back with a few minutes left in this half. And I think they've got 2 more timeouts left. And there's a pitch out to the far side of the field, and Westside does a good job tackling there for just maybe a yard or 2 right there, and it's going to bring up second down.
And Penning converging on the tackle.
Westside needs to keep this Norfolk offense contained right here. They did a good job on the first play of the drive. Let's see how they do here. Norfolk will send 2 receivers to the near side of the field and 1 to the far side. 2 backs.
Termas to the near sideline, trying to find a long pass, open wide receiver, but this one's up for grabs. Caleb Benning dives for it, is able to make the play. That one was just thrown up to nobody. A little bit of miscommunication on the near sideline. They had number 16, Colson Barrett, wide open, but he randomly stopped for a cutback route, and Benning was wide open. The safety is able to dive for that one.
Caleb Benning is having a big night for the Warriors. He had that big punt return, but it was called back. But I'll tell you what, big interception there with just over 3 minutes to go in this first half. Westside now has an opportunity to add another touchdown on the scoreboard. They've got about 59 yards to go.
High snap once again out of the flats to, looks like Avery Donnellinger, and he'll be pushed down to be close to the first down.
Plenty of time here for the Warriors. Huddle up real quick. Get that play going. They've got 2 timeouts left. Under 3 minutes to play in this first half. One
big scoring drive here might put it away here early for the Warriors. This would definitely swing the momentum entirely Westside's way. Another high snap. Little screen pass, tipped up and around, and able to be caught. Would it be a loss of 3 for the Warriors, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
Norfolk did a good job defending that play. They could see what Westside was going to do. Rizak just kind of dumped it over that rush by Norfolk, but there was no gain by the Warriors on that play. As a matter of fact, they might have lost a couple.
3rd and 5 here Empty backfield, 5 wide set. Anthony Rizak's going to have to roll out to the near sideline. He's going to take it himself. Make 1-man miss, 2-man miss. He's going to go to the near sideline. Big open hole for Rizak, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
That's why Anthony Rizak is so dangerous as a quarterback. He has such good speed. He can scramble and find an opening, and there you saw it there. He can make that big play. I remember against Grand Island, he made a play like that where he scrambled and ran all the way down in the closing minutes of the first half, and he did it again tonight.
Rizak has been such a big presence, like we talked about it, versus a guy like Colby Brown, who started off this season, just has that ability to make this offense three-dimensional. Pass across the middle, wide open, too easy. GG3 for the 16-yard score, and Westside will make this a 4-score game.
Just a beautiful pass play over the middle. Resembled that first touchdown by the Warriors at the other end of the field, just a post pattern, and he was wide open again. Just a great combination for them to score the touchdown, and that was quick for the Warriors. They only burned about a minute off the clock.
Guyette so far tonight makes it his second touchdown of the night. 102 yards here early in the passing game, although struggling last week, has been big here tonight for the Warriors. PAT, another almost opportunity for a block kick, but that one is able to go through the uprights. 27-0 here for the Warriors. We'll head to break here on WTV Live. Westside blowing this one open. Kick this one away here for the Warriors. 1:51 left to go, 27-0 in favor of the Warriors, and Mormino starts where Alvano left off. That one was way out of the back of the end zone.
I'll tell you what, he had everything into that kick. Murray's done a great job this season, and the last time he kicked off, they fielded it and ran it out to about the 35-yard line. He didn't like that at all, and put that one out into the end zone. But, it's another key moment in the game right here for Westside, just to close out the half, not to let Norfolk get on the scoreboard with a 27-0 lead.
Just under 2 minutes left to go here in this one. There's a handoff up the middle to Owen, and he'll be taken down. A little bit of some extracurriculars there in the secondary, but it'll bring up a second down. But just over 2 minutes, over at the Bennington and Elkhorn game, number 1 versus number 2 in Class B. Bennington is blowing this one open. It is 35-0 in the number 1 versus number 2 matchup in Class B. If I'm Stu Pospisil, this is an opportunity to maybe see a Class B team be in the top 10 this next coming week.
Well, Elkhorn has a new head coach this season. They lost Drew Christo, so that Elkhorn team is not the one to win the state championship a year ago. A lot of pressure on the Norfolk quarterback for a loss there of about 3 yards, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And you may see Westside call a timeout. Now they're going to let the clock run. They've got 2 timeouts left.
The time keeps ticking down here on the first half. Looks like we'll see at most one more play here for the Panthers, but the Warriors will go into halftime with a huge 4-score lead. It's exactly where Westside wanted to be here on this homecoming night. 3rd and 12 here. Turnus will run up the gut, finds an open space, and be clipped up about 3 yards away from the first down, but it looks like Westside will call a timeout here. Freund might want to find something offensively here, even with just 16 seconds left.
I was surprised he didn't call a timeout after 3rd down because they really had an opportunity to maybe get a minute on the clock, but there's just 16 seconds left here. We'll see what Westside wants to do. They go for the block here, possibly to go for the return.
Especially with still one timeout now. Would have been 2 timeouts earlier. They'd had a really good opportunity to maybe take 2 quick timeouts and allow themselves maybe over a minute left to go here in this second quarter. But if Westside wants to continue to pummel on here in this first half, they got a good opportunity to here.
Yeah, Caleb Benning getting some instructions from his dad, Damon Benning, the former Husker running back. Some instructions, dad to son right there, and we'll see the punt.
Going to away games when we're not streaming, being able to be right by Damon, yelling at Caleb every single night. That is some of the most entertaining things I've seen, because Damon will get into Caleb. It's how high of expectations he has of his son.
Yeah, dad can do that with the son when you're the coach and you're also the father, so he can do that. But Damon's had quite a career. Of course, our viewers might remember he played at Omaha Northwest, was an all-state player there, and then went down to the University of Nebraska and one of the top I-backs, and was the most valuable player of the Orange Bowl when Nebraska beat Virginia Tech back in 1996. And now he's had a great broadcasting career. So Caleb comes in and volunteers as an assistant coach, and he's really coached his son up really well. He's also a good basketball player, so he's quite an athlete just like his dad.
It was so fun to see Damon, especially last year in the state championship. Of course, he was the color commentator for that one, and be able to go from being the color commentator to be able to be one of the assistant coaches on this team. It's a big change for Damon, but he's been a big resource for this team this season. High punt, and this one will go out of bounds. Excuse me, it'll stay in just barely. It looked like it was about to go out of bounds, just barely comes back in. Let time continue off the clock. There's only 4 seconds left, so might have been a mistake for Caleb not to pick that one up to allow some more time.
Yeah, this will just be a Hail Mary to the end zone, or maybe they might just sit on it, but they've got the ball right now at the 47-yard line of Westside. You might see Westside put a bunch of receivers to the near side of the field since the ball is on the far hash mark, and we'll see what they do, but it looks like they'll just sit on it.
Yeah, it looks like they'll just sit on it here, bunched up set. So Westside will look to go into halftime here with a huge lead, up 27-0. The Warriors continuing their dominance here tonight. We'll hand it off up the middle. Dominic Rizak can try to cut out to the outside, maybe make a big play of this, but he'll get taken down at the Norfolk 38. So Westside will head into half up 27-0. A big momentum and start here for the Warriors. We'll head to half and get you your homecoming court candidates right after this here on WTV Live.
Jordan Knight, daughter of Julie and Jason Knight. Jordan is being escorted by King candidate Chandler Weeks, son of Shalise and Al Meeks. Queen candidate Carly Rezak. She's being escorted by her brother Vince Rezak, who's standing in for King candidate Dom Rezak. Carly and Dominic are the daughter and son of Lisa and DJ Rezak. Queen candidate Ella Henningsen is the daughter of Jenny and Kirk Henningsen. Ella is being escorted by Carly Guyat, who is standing in for King candidate Wayne Guyat, son of Sonia and Barney Guyat. Queen candidate Caitlin Hanna, daughter of Amy and Terry Hanna. Caitlin is being escorted by Stella Winfrey, who is standing in for King candidate Jack Winfrey, son of Jody and Matt Winfrey. Queen candidate Gretchen Nelson, daughter of Gary and Paul Nelson. Gretchen is being escorted by King candidate Zeb Gordman, son of Danielle and Jeff Gordman. Queen candidate Ava Fair, daughter of Angie and Dave Fair. Ava is being escorted by King candidate Trayvon Ellen Williams, son of Michaela Williams. Queen candidate Madeline Siebler, daughter of Aaron and Justin Siebler. Madeline is being escorted by Burt Brown, who is standing in for King candidate Colby Brown, son of Amy and Chris Brown. Queen candidate Ellie Anglem, daughter of Katie and Ryan Anglem. Ellie is being escorted by King candidate Jimmy Watke Stacy, son of Jerry Watke and Clark Stacy. Queen candidate Samantha Manhart, daughter of Joan and Paul Manhart. Samantha is being escorted by Jaden Godinez, who is standing in for King candidate Tyler Godinez, son of Kim and Tom Morasco, and Kim and Frank Godinez. Queen candidate Chloe Green, daughter of Wendy and Brian Kobler and Scott Green. Chloe is being escorted by Reina Hadadine, who is standing in for King candidate Jadamusa Hadadine. Jadamusa Hadadine, son of Nan and Reina Hadadine. And Queen candidate Claire Bonnet, daughter of Susie Bonnet. Claire is being escorted by Ben Wimmer, who is standing in for King candidate Jack Wimmer, son of Barbara and Todd Wimmer. Congratulations to our 2021 Westside Homecoming Tour.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
And now here is your Westside Band.
big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com. It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
Back here at halftime, Westside currently leading Norfolk 27-0 here. A big first half here for the Warriors, and exactly what this team needed to end off their regular season.
Yeah, they really did it on both sides of the ball, special teams too. They've got some great returns from Caleb Benning in this game. The defense came up with a tipped interception, good pressure, and that's why Norfolk has yet to get on the scoreboard. The defense has played really well, but Anthony Rizak has really done a good job at quarterback. He's really engineered this team. The only bad part about this Westside team in the first half, the only negative thing you can say, Jaden, was the penalties. The penalties really hurt him. They had a late hit out of bounds. They had a holding penalty that really hurt them, but penalties were the worst things.
Yeah, 65 penalty yards for the Warriors here tonight, 20 for Norfolk. The biggest thing to talk about for Norfolk, only 28 total yards of offense, 1 yard of passing, 27 yards of rushing on the opposite side for the Warriors, 150 yards passing, 128 rushing. And the passing game has been really big here as Anthony Rizak has been able to kind of find his footing here tonight. 10 for 13, of course, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both of those touchdowns to Grant Guyette. Guyette, once again, after having not 2 lazy nights, I won't want to say, but not as big of a night in the last 2 weeks. He has 144 yards, on 5 receptions and 2 touchdowns.
Well, he is the favorite receiver of the Westside quarterbacks this season. He's got 8 touchdowns so far, and he ranks in the top 10 of the state in receptions. He averages over 14 yards a catch, so he is a big play receiver for this Westside offense. And when you've got a running back like Dominic Rizak and you've got a receiver like Guyette, that's a great combination to have a double threat on offense, passing the ball and running the ball.
So looking at tonight's Dunkin Trivia Question of the game, big game that we've seen these last couple weeks is how good Lincoln East's Noah Walters has been. Last year in 2020, Noah Walters broke the Class A record for most completions in a game with 40. Whose record did he break? Ross, going to wait to hear. You got at least somebody allowed to win this one. We don't got to give all of the gift cards to our own people up here.
Okay.
We'll give you a chance in the fourth.
But, give me a chance in the fourth quarter to answer it because I know the team that got this. I'm just trying to remember.
I would hope you would.
I'm just trying to remember his name.
So once again, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter or on our most recent tweet, which will be sent out here in a moment. Reply to that. First correct answer with hashtag Dunkin Trivia will get you a $10 gift card to any Dunkin in the Omaha Metro and Council Bluffs area.
I'll tell you what, Jaden, this is a great atmosphere here tonight. The weather's fantastic. It's in the mid-70s. It's homecoming for Westside High School. They introduced the candidates at halftime, and they brought a lot of alumni here, probably about 20 kings and queens from the past, going back to the 1960s. But it's really been a great turnout for alumni and the student body and the parents here tonight. Just a great evening for Westside High School, and the kids are enjoying it, the parents are enjoying it. Just a great turnout. This
has been one of the deepest crowds I've seen all season from Red Shield, and especially since we want to talk about it, some beef back and forth between some of the student sections. Millard West, the crazies out there have been loud all season long. Their away games not so much, but the home games have gotten them a lot of publicity on Sports Center. Max Preps, the big man there, the QB plug, has been showing off that student section. So there's a lot of competition this season. And talking with Red Shield coming into a lot of these games, they want to win. They are known for how deep and how good they are. And they want every single student that's a part of Westside to know that they need to be the best, and they're the best because you're a Westside student.
And it's a strong tradition here at Westside with that student body.
Second half underway. Tristan Alvano once again kicks it back deep into the end zone. And Norfolk will start off this second half at the 20-yard line.
Well, it's important here for Westside just to set the tone early here in the second half. Maybe get out to probably a couple more touchdowns, and we might get to see a lot of the, seniors who don't get to play, a lot of the underclassmen who don't normally get to play. And you like to see that in a game like this for this Westside team. But, first of all, stop Norfolk here.
That's going to be a big drive right out of the gate for Norfolk to see if they can have any kind of momentum. A little option run here. Terminus going to pitch it back out to Owen. Owen is able to get to the sidelines, about a gain of 9. And it'll be a really close second down, so exactly what the Panthers needed to start it off this second half.
Yeah, that's a big play to start off the second half with a first down there. Took a while, probably until the second quarter, until they got their very first down. But after probably a long talk in the locker room, down 27-0, Norfolk says, hey, we got to get something going here. We don't want a goose egg up there on the scoreboard for the rest of the game. We want to get on the scoreboard.
Still with only 1 passing yard here tonight for the Panthers. They'll keep it with the ground. Ball's on the ground. It looked like Owen was able to fall on it. A little bit of a missed snap there. Missed handoff. And Norfolk is pushed back into the yard and will make it a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Westside really putting the pressure there on that interior line for Norfolk. Just maybe pushing them back a little. And now maybe a couple yards lost on that play, so it's now 2nd and 12.
Four wide out here. Pistol set once again, motion in the near sideline. Turners will keep it himself. Huge hit in the backfield. Tommy Connolly, R.J. Gunderson, the one that got back there quick and made that big hit. And it makes it a long 3rd and 19. 3rd and 10, excuse me.
Just a great individual effort there up the middle. Quarterback tried to keep her up the middle, but Gunderson was there to meet him, and a good solo tackle for him for a loss.
Defensive line and the linebacking core has been huge this season, one of the most underrated pieces to this team. We've even seen some Jack Wimmer in that group as well. He's working at the outside linebacker spot as well as the defensive back and forth this season. Turns will step back, little screen pass. Owen able to jump up and get it. Try to find something here, but it's taken down. The defensive line once again. Cole Hardman able to chase down Owen and get him down about 7 yards short of the first down.
Cole
Haberman will bring
Haberman,
out the punting team.
yeah, Haberman really smelled that play out. He saw what was developing by Norfolk when the quarterback just drifted back. He saw that play and made a nice tackle for another loss.
Once again, almost blocked. This one will drop. We'll give it to Caleb Benning, trying to find another opportunity here in a big return. And it'll bring the Warriors to the Norfolk 40-yard line, and that's where they'll start for their first drive of the second half.
Just a nice return by Caleb Benning. He didn't let that ball roll downfield for Norfolk. He scooped it up and made a nice return out to the 40-yard line of about 15-yard return.
So now we'll see Colby Brown come into the ball game for the Warriors. First time we've seen him since the first quarter of the Grand Island game. The senior will hand it off to Dominic Rizak up the middle. Able to find a hole, trying to get to the outside. Be taken down to the 21. Great blocking at the offensive line and an easy open hole for Rizak.
Yeah, Colby Brown coming in at quarterback, in for Anthony Rizak. It's always good to have two quarterbacks with a lot of experience, and that's what Westside has this year. Colby Brown, the senior signal caller, the son of Chris Brown, the former Nebraska kicker.
Brown will hand it off to Dominic Rizak up the middle once again. He'll be taken down, but we'll gain about 2.
Important for Westside to set the tempo for this second half, to get in the end zone, to kind of keep the pressure on Norfolk.
Look back up to the line once again. I formation right up the front. Dominic Rizak trying to cut back up the middle. Once again, will gain about 3 yards.
Good.
We'll make it a third and about 5.
Yeah, good run by Rizak just over the right side. Westside got a good push from their offensive line over to the right side. Just working the ball downfield. That's what they need to do.
We'll see if they keep Colby in for the rest of this one. Shotgun one to the right of him, Dominic Rizak. He'll step back. Floater near sideline 2. Easy once again. 1, 2, 3 for GG3. Third touchdown of the night. And Westside pulls wide open here in the second half. You like that one, Ross? I know you like that one, Ross. I had that one planned out for tonight.
Great call, Jaden. Just a wonderful touchdown pass there. Colby took his time, very patient, waited for Guyette to make that separation in the end zone, and they connected, and they were a hot combination at the start of the season, and it's good to see that again tonight.
We saw it earlier in the first couple games of the season, the first 3 games after the season after week 3, as the PAT is good. I mean, Grant Guyette and Colby were both in the top 7 for passing and receiving. Grant was one of the top receivers in the state. But a beautiful play right there. And Westside has blown this one to a huge lead of 34.
Yeah, Guyette now 9 touchdowns on the season. He is ranked among the best receivers in the state, and you can see why on that play. He just has the ability to break away from the defender. And Jaden, it seems like all the touchdowns he gets in the north end zone are in that right corner. He just has a great pattern that he goes, and Colby knows where to throw it, and just a beautiful pass by Colby Brown, who's headed to Creighton University, not to play football, of course. He's going to go play golf. He's a very good golfer for the Warrior golf team, and that's where he's going to play his college golf at Creighton University.
Speaking of golf, Caitlin Hanna for the fall for a girls golf team is looking to possibly become a 3-time state champion. She's got a lot of competition after getting second at the Millard North, the Metro invite. That Millard North team is dangerous.
Yeah, Katie Ruge of Millard North is probably the player to beat at state. She's really dominated this season, most of the tournaments, and she's headed to the University of Kansas. But, you know, Caitlin's got a great chance. She's won up at the Norfolk Country Club twice during her high school career, was the runner-up last year to Stephanie Colbus. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Monday.
Shotgun set here. Turns, hand it off in the middle. Owen once again will be tripped up. And again about 2.
Westside with that big lead here. We might see one more series with this number 1 unit, see what they can do. But they're really putting the pressure on Norfolk here, deep in their own territory on the 22-yard line. And this Westside defense has really stood out tonight. Looking for a shutout, that'd be nice to have.
Big thing to talk about as well. We started off with this half talking about it, but still 1 passing yard here for Norfolk as they hand it off once in the middle. Once again, Owen able to rumble down for about 6 yards. It'll make it a 3rd and short.
Yeah, Owen's their best running back. I mean, he does a really good job, leads the team in rushing yardage. He got a good push over there on the right side, was able to get within about 2 yards of a first down. So big play here for the Warrior defense. Let's see if they can stop them.
The defense has been huge here tonight. We'll see, I think, another 3rd down stop. Turnus looking to the sideline, a little confused here before the play. 12 seconds left in the play clock. Turnus will keep it himself. QB run up the middle. Huge hit. Tommy Connolly. Goodness gracious, lower the shoulder and a huge hit. And it'll bring up a 4th down.
Tommy Conley with that cast on his left arm can really make some big plays for this Warrior defense. And there you saw it. He had an interception that he caught and returned it all the way for a touchdown earlier in the season. He's just a big playmaker on this Westside defense, and now Norfolk has to punt it away.
Caleb Benning once again back deep. He's had great field position, 4 different returns for over 20 yards here tonight. His feet are currently at the 41-yard line of Westside. This punt almost blocked once again, a high punt. Moving back to the 36. He'll keep it once again, try to cut across up the middle, break 1 tackle, be brought down and stopped at the Norfolk 48. But 3 straight drives, Westside has great field position. Westside with 6:20 left to go here in this 3rd quarter. They're up 34-0.
It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our number 1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4
First and 10 here for the Warriors. 34-0, currently 1 point away from making this a running clock. Handoff, Kurt Kubrish, he'll try to work up across the middle. Had to gain a lot of ground after being back in his side of the field. Will gain about 6, so it'll bring up a 2nd and manageable.
You know, that's a nice 1-2 punch Westside has with Kurt there at fullback. He can really crank up some yardage. Good cutback there to get some good yards for Westside.
So it looks like Colby Brown will stay in this one. I formation set. They'll bring it out to Kurt once again. He finds another open hole, continues the move, and a big first down for the Warriors.
He is like a truck running through all that traffic and just really powers his way for another first down for Westside down to about the 30-yard line. Just a great run by Kurt.
Kubrich, as well as a little bit of Jamez Ross, will be really the main 1-2 punch next year. Kurt truly reminds me a lot of, if you guys remember, about 2 years ago, as we have somebody behind us really liking to rev up their car. Have a fun muffler, bud. But really, I mean, Kurt has really reminded me 2 years ago of a little bit of a Bodie Harrell, a guy who is able to get those really big yards and big moments, but is really not the main number one running back.
But he's got a great burst of speed up the middle. I mean, he's got, when you have that kind of burst, you can really get a lot of yards because he's so quick when he gets the ball.
Pistol set here, high snap. Colby Brown will step back. Little floater, far sideline, open wide receiver, and it's caught. Another touchdown for the Warriors. It's Avery Donnellinger in the far corner. Beautiful pass from Colby Brown. And Westside will make this a 6-score ball game.
Just a beautiful pass by Colby Brown. He lofted that ball over the defenders and caught that about 3 yards into the end zone. Just a great pass there by Brown and a great catch by Donnellinger for the touchdown. And that was just a beautiful play for the Warriors.
Big thing there once again, Colby Brown showing off his arm. This PAT is good. Westside with 4:40 left to go here in this one, up 41-0. The Warriors have blown this one open and look to continue this one here on homecoming night. Nothing game here in favor of the Warriors. Right after the 26-yard pass from Colby Brown to Avery Donnellinger. And again, we've talked a lot about QB controversy. We're going to see Anthony Rizak or Colby. And Colby, I mean, that pass was beautiful right near the far corner.
You know, it's a great problem to have for head coach Brett Freund. He's got two talented quarterbacks. And Colby really his strength of his passing, and with Anthony Rizak, he is a double threat running and throwing the ball. Just a great problem to have, and I think any head coach would welcome that kind of controversy.
Overall tonight for the Warriors, they've just been dominating offensively. Currently with 191 passing yards, 175 rushing yards, 17 total first downs. The only negative for the Warriors here tonight has been their penalty yards, which has been 65. But that was just essentially the entirety of the first quarter.
Yeah, and now we're going to see the running clock. The fact that Norfolk is down by 41 points. The limit is 35, and now the clock will run continuously.
So after this first play here, handed out to Payson, able to make a quick juke there. Will get down to about the 25-yard line. They'll bring up a 2nd and 5.
And this game will go quick right now with a 41-point lead. The Warriors will probably try to substitute some players, get some seniors in there that don't normally play, get some underclassmen there to get some experience. So you're going to see some new numbers out there on the field for Westside.
This is the first time we've seen this here for this Warrior team this season. Last year it seemed as about every single game had it. A lot of these games in third quarters and fourth quarters went very quickly, but we've had a lot of more contested types of matchups so far this season for the Warriors, but especially up against a Norfolk team that has struggled up against top 10 teams this season. Westside has really proven that they're able to be where they need to be, especially against the team that's very low in Class A.
You know, I think at halftime, Coach Freund told him, he said, you know, if you guys would not, you know, get the penalties, this game would be probably even wider than it is right now, because that's been the only thing that has really hampered this Westside team tonight has been penalties, because they played really well. It's just the penalties that have hurt them.
A little bit of a pistol eye formation, really miscommunication, really bad play call offensively for Norfolk right there. Everybody seemed to be confused. Turnus went to his right, two running backs went to his left. A lot of miscommunication. I think that's really been the story of this offense tonight for Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk was confused on that play. Quarterback looked for the running back. He wasn't there, just decided to run the ball himself. And, you know, when you're down by 41 points, that's not what you want to have happen. But the clock's ticking away. Norfolk's just probably hoping to just get on the scoreboard tonight and then head back home for that 2-hour bus ride back to Norfolk.
Turnus saving himself. Trevor Spady trying to get to him across the middle. Beautiful pass and a first down here for the Panthers. On the reception was number 44, Jackson Boss.
And that's one of the biggest pass plays by Norfolk tonight to get that first down. Takes the ball out to the 45-yard line. And it was a nice play by the Panthers to get that first down here with a couple minutes left in the third quarter.
Another run up the middle, not able to find much.
Westside starting to substitute some players in there now, give some other guys a chance to play in the game. I noticed Caleb Benning's coming out of the game right now. So you're going to see some new numbers out there for Westside.
Number 82 in the near silence will be Wesley Okafor. See, number 45 defensively is going to be Luke Gunderson, the junior, at the safety position. A lot of changes at the offensive line as well. Turner's going to try to find some open field. He'll be taken down for about a gain of 6.
But this is great experience for those juniors that don't normally play. They can come back next year and, you know, look back and see what they did. For those seniors, their final season at Westside, just a great opportunity for them to get out on the football field one more time.
So bring up a 3rd and 5 here for the Panthers. The clock continues to run here as we're about a play and a half away from ending this third quarter. Turnus once again. Finally, another pass play here. Beautiful throw out to the near sideline. Taylon Bauman, usually the number 1 wide receiver for the Panthers, able to haul in his first reception of the day. And Norfolk is finally over 1 in the passing yard category.
Well, they're starting to move the ball here in the passing game. They've had a couple nice throws on this drive, and it's taken them down to the 37-yard line. And, you know, Westside's had some substitutions there, but Norfolk looking to get on the scoreboard here, only 37 yards away.
All right, see one final play here at the end of the third quarter. Norfolk trying to find their first big drive of the day. It's only the second time they've been past the 50-yard line. Turnus will keep it himself. Little swing pass out to the flats, and we've taken down for about a gain of 5. That will end the third quarter here at Westside. The Warriors continuing to roll. It's 41-0 in favor of Westside. We'll be right back on WTV Live. real quick before we get into fourth quarter action here on WTV Live. I want to get a quick glimpse, once again, at the Dunkin Trivia Question. Lincoln East senior, now then junior, Noah Walters with a Class A record for most completions in a game with 40. Whose record did he break? Hashtag Dunkin Trivia as our flag here. Hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter, as well as a recent tweet on Westside Wired. This is a recent quarterback that might have gone to a school somewhere near here. If that narrows it down a little bit.
Okay.
Hashtag Dunkin Trivia once again. We'll get you a $10 gift card to any Dunkin Donuts in the Omaha Metro and Council Bluffs area. As Norfolk's trying to find some kind of drive here. Run up the gut from Payson. Oh, a huge tackle from Bo Ryan at the inside linebacker spot. And it'll bring up a long third down once again for the Panthers.
Good defensive play by Westside there. They've really plugged up the hole. Nothing for Norfolk over the left side, and that brings up a third and long here. And a good job by these backups for Westside that are out there on the field right now.
A lot of different guys in here from what I can see. Of course, Luke Gunderston at his safety position. A couple other guys moving around the line. As we get some names, we'll see a big blitz coming here. Pass across the middle is incomplete. And a huge hit on the quarterback, Turnus. Freund brought the full house on that one. The offensive line for Norfolk had nothing to say for it to bring up a fourth down. And it looks like once again the Panthers will punt this one away.
Great push up front by Westside. They sent about 7 players in at the quarterback. Quick pass, and Norfolk had the ball right in their grip, but they couldn't complete the pass, and it's a punting situation for Norfolk.
Norfolk will take their first time out of the second half. 10:48 left to go here in this one. Westside continuing to roll 41-0 in favor of the Warriors. Westside Red Shield having a night here on homecoming. Neon disco night for the Red Shield. And that group just continues to grow this season. I mean, there's only so much things you can say about a student section back and forth, but I think, again, probably with some bias myself, but what better atmosphere can you find here in the state of Nebraska other than this group right here?
Well, Jaden, I think you should broadcast the game next time from the Red Shield and just see how much enthusiasm you can get from the crowd there.
Ross, you're giving me ideas. It is never interesting to give me too many ideas. Little flip pass. Looked like he might have been past the line of scrimmage there on the 4th and 8, but Turnus just kind of chucks it up. A little flip, but we'll see who's close to the first down marker, and they'll give him the first down.
Jaden, I don't know if you remember this. This was a long time ago, probably before you were born, but Harry Carey was
I'd remember that one then.
Harry Carey was the play-by-play announcer for the Chicago Cubs, and he would go out and sit in left field with the fans and broadcast the game and have a beer with them.
Next week we might see that. You're giving me too many ideas, Ross. Too many ideas for my old brain.
Yeah, you might have a few students who might want to take over the microphone for you. That might be a problem.
Yeah. I love the guys. I don't know if I trust them that much. We're going to think about that.
All right.
Might think about that. Red Zone Cam. Red Shield Cam. There you go. That's a better one. Might see some of that next week. More and more ideas. Anytime you give me an idea, just contact me. We got more things we can add to this show. Every night. We can put more into this, put more into these games. Love doing these. Love giving you guys these communities opportunities. As this pass here, almost intercepted. Didn't even look like the wide receiver even saw that ball coming to him. And he'll bring up a long third down.
Yeah, even though that was an incomplete pass, the clock continues to run. It's 9-10 now and running, just because it's over the 35-point mark, 41-0 Westside leads. So this fourth quarter is going to go really quick, folks. This game's going to be over really soon.
And of course, after tonight, for all those in attendance tonight, or if you want to quickly get over here within the next couple of minutes, there will be a fireworks show after tonight's game. We have a fun homecoming night. Of course, the homecoming dance will actually be on this field tomorrow night as Turnus will try to get himself into some open space. He'll gain about 4 yards. They'll bring up a 4th and short. But man, what a week of festivities here at Westside for the homecoming week. We had a huge pep rally on Wednesday. They showed out the homecoming court candidates. If I'm correct, I might be wrong. 6 different football players, 7 actually, excuse me, on that list. A great group of guys. I'm calling it out now. My front runner for homecoming king is Jad. Jad Beats is what they call him. Was actually, if you remember earlier today, if you guys were watching our pre-debate show for AP Gov, he was our tech producer for that one. But a lot of opportunities for homecoming queen as well. But a lot of fun week. I mean, we had Wednesday, the pep rally. That one was amazing. The parade was bigger than I've seen since I've been here at Westside. A lot of different floats and a lot of fun.
Yeah, they had the marching band walk through the Westside neighborhood down 87th Street and back to the high school, towards Center Street, and then back to the high school, and then a big pep rally here on the football field. Just a great atmosphere. All the dance teams, the cheerleaders performed, and just a really great night for school spirit here at Westside High School. Then they announced the finalists for the homecoming court, and just a really great week here at the school, and great way to cap it off with a win tonight here against Norfolk.
Westside has the easiest schedule in Class A to start out their end of the year. As we see number 18, Cannon McCarty, the junior, run it for a gain of 7. They have Norfolk here today. They'll go up against Omaha Bryan next week, which is an Omaha Bryan team that is very much so struggling. They've lost to 2 different Class B teams this season. And the closest they've gotten to a Class A team was a 50-0 loss early in the year up against Grand Island. The Westside will look for another big win next week, and then they'll go up against Benson to end off the regular season. We'll still give you updates on that Benson game. We're looking to possibly stream that one out at Benson. A really fun broadcast out there, but we'll see what we can do to end off that regular season. But once we get to the postseason, there'll be a lot of different games that we're going to be seeing. We have a little bit of volleyball districts that we're going to see next Friday and Saturday. You guys can watch 4 different streams on all Westside Wire networks. 3 p.m. on Friday is the start of the Warrior Invite here in the gym. The main gym can be watched on the Westside Wired YouTube channel. The activity gym, which will be another 5 different games that night, will be able to be watched on our middle school group. WMS TV will be able to get some high school action. That'll be really fun to see as Jad is able to get a good play there, able to see the swing pass for about 2. But a lot of fun coming up these next 2 weeks. A busy weekend next Friday and Saturday, of course. No school next Thursday, Friday, or the Monday after. So a lot of opportunities for some fun. Of course, Westside, but then on that same night at 7 p.m., we'll be streaming that one here on Warrior Television. Then Saturday morning, we're back bright and early for the championship bracket of the Warrior Invite. 3 different games, 9:30, 11:15, and 1:30. Some big volleyball matchups and a lot of really good teams. This Westside volleyball team is making a big impact, much bigger than they really have ever before this year.
Yeah, they're ranked in the top 10 this year, 8th right now in Class A by Mike Patterson, who covers volleyball for the Omaha World Herald. Just a really impressive season that Westside is having, and It's one of the best volleyball teams they've had in years.
Madeline Siebler is a huge senior leader for that team. Here's a Montana State commit. You also have a Hawaii commit in Destiny Dom Simpson.
Now the big question here, if you're Brett Freund, are you going to go for it on 4th down, or do you just punt it away? There's 1 yard to go, and they're going to go for it. No punt for Westside.
Might see to catch him offside, a little bit of encroachment here. We'll see what Freund wants to do. But either way, the Warriors continually are showing out here tonight. It's been a fun homecoming atmosphere, a huge crowd. This is probably the biggest crowd that I've seen all season. There'll be a flag there. Looks like there'll be a delay of game penalty, and Westside will most likely be forced to punt. So overall tonight, looking at the stats for these two teams, it's going to be a total of 389 yards so far here tonight for Westside. There's only one drive left. 199 passing yards in between Teddy Rizak and Colby Brown. Be interesting to see if they want to mix those two up, because how well Colby already played. 190 rushing yards for this team. 100 of those coming from Dominic Rizak on 17 attempts, 2 big touchdowns in that first half. And Westside has just continued to roll here, as it looked like there's another penalty flag. And really the only negative that we've seen from this entire game for the Warriors has been the penalties. But with this penalty here, let's see if they decline it. So delay a game there. That'll make it 80 yards of penalties for the Warriors. That's really the only thing negative that you can talk about for this team here tonight. A big win and 2 more games for the rest of this season. We'll see if they bring out the plaque here tonight for the A6 district title game, because this win right here tonight, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame show and throughout tonight, will clinch the Warriors as the Class A District 6 champions.
And that clock continues to roll. Now we're just about 3.5 minutes left in this game. Just a great performance by Westside tonight on homecoming night. Many of the fans are still here at Phelps Field, enjoying this one all the way to the end, because there's going to be some fireworks, folks, at the end of the game. So stick around and enjoy it.
We're going to quick interview. Make sure to stay here for the KB postgame show after this one. We'll get talking with our Time 42 player of the game tonight. We'll get in a little bit more on the next upcoming weeks. How can this team prepare going forward? What are the biggest things going into playoff time? And where can we see these Warriors fit? Who will they be going up against in this playoffs coming forward?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out, the matchups. If you're a Warrior fan, you know, you want to cheer for Creighton Prep, who they beat earlier this season. You want them to finish out strong, and that'll help Westside in their point standings. Right now they're around 4th place in the wild card standings, but you want to be seated probably, you know, at least 2nd for Westside, so they could host in the playoffs all the way to the semifinals.
It'll be pretty interesting here. Westside, of course, 4th currently in wild card points, right behind Bellevue West at 3. Creighton Prep right behind them at 5. And it could be interesting the way Creighton Prep has played so far this season, and if they can win out against 2 more top 10 teams, I mean, this could be an instance to where Prep, even though with the loss to Westside, could possibly find themselves in front of the Warriors. Ball's on the ground. Looks like Westside might have recovered. Bo Ryan was the one who got the strip sack there, and they'll give it to the Warriors. Bo Ryan was the one who popped it out. Number 58, Miles O'Brien, the senior, was the one who pounced on it. And Westside will take over once again, their 3rd forced turnover of the night.
Just a great performance by this Westside defense, forced another turnover. Of course, earlier in the game, they pressured the quarterback, tipped the ball, and got an interception. The defense has played extremely well tonight, getting the shutout, 41-0. They'll just run the clock out here with under 2 minutes left.
We'll see if they still want to go with the kneel down. They will. So victory formation here. 3 kneel downs here for the Warriors will end it. As senior Colby Brown actually will hand it off up the middle for about a half a yard. They give it off to number 88, Caden Osborne. Osborne, as a senior, is a kind of interesting guy to talk about. Went to Omaha Bryan for his first 2 seasons. He'll see his counterparts in Omaha Bryan next week. It's really interesting to see how Caden does. I mean, what he's been able to bring to this team, although a big bench piece, he's really been a part of this group. Like him, Luke Gunderson, Michael Zimmerman have really been the overall voice to this team, a huge piece, and being able to get this team going and emotionally charged for every one of these games.
They've had so many players on the field, I don't know if Westside really knows what to do in this victory formation. And there's a flag on the play. I think they may have too many players.
Yeah, Griffin Behrens. It was not a too many players violation. It was Behrens kind of snapped the ball a little bit too early and nobody moved. But still 2 kneel downs will end it here for the Warriors. Once again, a big win. Currently, you could possibly see right now the 14 seed, which is you possibly see either Grand Island if it stays where it's at, or Fremont. Again, we are 3 weeks away from the playoffs, but a mix of Grand Island, North Platte, Fremont, and Papio South are really the 4 teams that we could see the Warriors play if both teams stay where they surroundingly are at. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think, with Westside, their point standings right now, there's no way they can go down, I think, in the point standings. The only way they can go up. But that looks like the end of the game here, and the clock's just going to run out. Jaden, a good win for Westside. They're now 7-0 on the season.
Exactly what you needed to do. 19 straight for this Westside team. Has not lost a single regular season game since 2019 up against Millard South at home. And the Warriors just continue their success. A big win up against Norfolk. They'll play Omaha Bryan next week. Westside takes this one home 41-0 as the handshakes are going on here. We'll take a quick break here. Once we come back, make sure you stay tuned for the KB Postgame show. A lot to talk about in this one. We'll get our Time 42 Player of the Game. A big interview with some of our top players here for the Warriors. Westside wins this one 41-0.
Welcome back to Phelps Field, where Westside has defeated Norfolk by the score of 41-0. Westside raises their record to 7-0 on the season and extends their winning streak to 19 games. With me is Jaden Taylor with our player of the game. Jaden?
Thank you so much, Ross, here. So I'm with our Time 42 player of the game tonight, Tommy Connolly. A big thing we've talked about so much this season is how good this offense has been in big moments. We haven't talked enough about this linebacking core. You, Bo Ryan, Kurt Kubrich, a little bit of Jack Wimmer, and we've seen somewhat of Grant Guyette as well. How well have you guys meshed this season?
Pretty well, as you can see. Some young guys really stepped up when I got hurt, and that showed the coaches that we're not afraid to put the young guys in. So, it's just good that we have those young guys in to get them experience.
Well, speaking with that injury, I will admit personally, one of the funniest plays that I've still seen, and one thing that I'm going to keep on my reel going forward is your tipped interception with that thing right there. How did that one feel? I'm not sure great, but a lot of adrenaline in that play 2 weeks ago.
It was pretty bandaged up. I didn't feel a thing, and there was a lot of adrenaline, so that was my favorite play so far.
All right, so a big thing here tonight. It's your first shutout of this season. Sometimes the secondary is somewhat lacked here in most of the games, but they really were able to show strong here tonight. Talking about the defensive effort here tonight, get your first shutout of the year.
Yeah, so all throughout the week, we really emphasized the secondary, keying in on their players, getting the scheme down, and we showed today.
All right, so going forward, you got Bryan next week, a really struggling team. You go out to Benson 2 weeks from today. What is the game plan for these next two games? Some lower Class A teams that are still trying to fight. Are these games to really feel yourself, make sure you're comfortable going forward into the playoffs?
Yeah, so all week we're going to work on upping our physicality and game plans. That's what we did this week. That's what we're going to plan on doing. We're looking at week 7, week 8, week 9, not who our opponent is.
So a big thing, I really like that opportunity to think of, but you got to have a little bit of this question here because I want to ask this question as a whole. What's it going to take for this team to go back-to-back?
Oh, geez, just buying in and doing your assignment. If we get those things down, we should be cool.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Tommy. So our Time 42 player of the game, Tommy Connolly. Great win tonight here for the Warriors. We'll take a quick break here on WTV Live. When we come back, a little more KB postgame show. And Westside, once again, able to take this one home on homecoming night.
Convenient locations or dingmans.com. It's a big moment with a lot of emotions when you hand the keys over to a new driver. We want you to buckle up, slow down, and please no texting while driving. Our family cares about your family, and your safety is our #1 priority. At Dingman's, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Visit us at one of our 4 convenient locations or dingmans.com.
fireworks blazing here tonight on homecoming night here at Phelps Field. We're going to wrap this one up. Well, talking about this game, Ross, I mean, Westside just continuing to show off the offensive ability. But the big thing even tonight that we talked about with Tommy, how good this defense was here tonight.
Yeah, the defense did a great job. They only allowed 122 yards for Norfolk in this game, 33 carries for 71 yards and passing yards. Norfolk could only manage 51 yards, only 9 completions, and the Warriors had just a great job on defense, 2 interceptions by the Warriors tonight.
So with this team overall, I mean, there's so much going forward. There's so much hype for this team to possibly be a back-to-back state champion team. That's a really hard thing to do. Bellevue West tried to do it. They weren't able to do it last year. Bellevue West is once again in the mix this year. It really comes down to who can be the best once it comes to playoff time. Do you feel this Westside team is ready?
Yeah, they're ready. There's no doubt about it. They're so strong at quarterback with Anthony Rizak and Colby Brown. Rizak, 10 of 13 passes for 150 yards, but Colby Brown comes in 4 for 4 for 49 yards and a pair of touchdowns, 4 touchdown passes tonight, so the passing game really worked for the Warriors tonight.
Although, like you said, not a bad problem for Freund. That might be a big question coming up this week in practice, especially going up against a really low team in Omaha. Brian might want to see if Colby Brown can do a little bit of things. They might want to switch it up between the two of them. We'll see what they want to do, but Anthony will be a big piece as well going forward.
But look at this stat in the receiving. Grant Guyette, 6 receptions for 119 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged almost 20 yards a reception tonight. So it really shows you how strong that passing game is.
So real quick before we finish this one up, here on WTV Live, we'll take a final look at our Dunkin Trivia Question of the night. Once again in 2020, Lincoln East senior Noah Walters, at that time was a junior, broke the Class A record for most completions in a game with 40. Whose record did he break? Ross, I think you got this one.
Let me see. Could he have gone to Bellevue West and now he's at Iowa Western?
Incorrect.
No.
He hasn't passed that much.
Okay.
He passed a lot, but he ran a lot more. I mean, glance over there, Bellevue West, the big guy to see. Big piece. I mean, he is currently, I believe, if I'm correct, I might be wrong in this statement, but currently rated as the #1 JUCO player in the nation. He's got a lot of hype from Penn State, a lot of hype from a lot of other big Division I and FBS teams, but it's not Nate Glantz.
Okay, I gave you my guess. Give me the answer.
Dylan Ploutz, Westside High School grad, the QB1 before Cole Payton, back in 2017, had 33 completions in one game. It was an early game in the regular season, a blowout win for the Warriors. But yeah, another Westside player able to get on this list. Once again, if you win this one first, correct answer on any of our Dunkin Trivia questions so far this season, hashtag Dunkin Trivia on Twitter. First right answer will get you a $10 gift card. Want to thank Chris Brown over there with Dunkin for all the support he's been able to do these past 2 years, been able to bring this thing out. I always thought, kind of thinking of how the Aflac Trivia Question could work, how can we incorporate the fans? This has been a great way to do so. The Westside, once again, takes this one home, 41-0. That's going to do it tonight here on WTV Live. It's been great giving you all this game here tonight. Homecoming win for the Warriors. We'll be back next week as Westside takes on Omaha Bryan.